Now joined by the man, the myth, the legend. It is Jonathan Hobbs. Hobbsy, how are you doing?
I'm very well, Danny. Yourself?
Yeah, very well indeed. Now, looking ahead to, or looking at Greyhound Racing UK, but the media side of things. The Greyhound Star, that was a one-man band, obviously run by our friend Floyd Amphlett, who built a reputation for many, many years, providing the Greyhound community with the news, features, we had analysis, and the infamous, of course, editor's chair. The ambitions, I'm guessing, for Greyhound News UK are to maintain those very high standards.
Absolutely. I think Floyd very much still part of the business. You know, he built up the Greyhound Star from not quite scratch, but he established the Greyhound Star as the go-to medium, I think, for Greyhound fans, full stop. Of course, the Racing Post massively involved in that, as well as driving, you know, Greyhound News, etc. But the Greyhound Star was certainly, I think, one of the major initial moves from Mike and Greyhound Racing UK to get involved with that, take it over and try to build on the successes of Floyd, who was, you have to remember, very much a one-man band. So big respect to what he achieved.
And now we've got quite a few people in situ that can really drive the Greyhound News forwards.
I just think we're news hungry in our
Yeah.
daily lives anyway. So whatever your subject, whatever your preferences, whatever your hobbies, you want to ingest news all the time. And Greyhound Racing is no different to that. So you want to be that provider. And Greyhound Racing just provides so many stories.
Yeah.
Every single meeting provides a story, whether that be about the owner, whether it be about the trainer, and of course the greyhounds themselves, who are the stars of the show. So we want to hear about that. And as you say, there's a team of writers that are being assembled as I speak. It's growing all the time, which
Yeah.
is great because, you know, let's be honest about it, in terms of Greyhound writers, they have been reduced over the years for various reasons, in terms of, you know, the pressures that media operations have put on them. And now we've got a chance to build that up again, albeit I realise that it can't just be about Greyhound News. There has to be, you know, very much a broadcasting arm and other ways and other means of getting your news, other platforms, other channels. So sitting there with a pen and paper, writing shorthand, people won't even know what that is perhaps long gone. But it's just about feeding that desire to get information. And, you know, especially where Greyhound Racing is concerned in terms of betting. You know, we want people to get involved. Yeah, cheer your greyhound on first past the post, but you also, if you had your fiver on, that's even better, I can assure you.
Oh, it is. Now, Greyhound Racing and News and Media UK, they're obviously exploring new ways of getting the content out to the public. As Greyhound fans, people will know where to find that. But how are we trying to create a new audience?
It's a good question. I think in many ways that the base has to be the website. So, you know, greyhoundnewsuk.com has to be the base. But of course, that will then provide all the social media platforms, which I'm learning about all the time. So it's not just X or Twitter. You know, there will be a drive towards Instagram and TikTok as well. We've heard about the successes of, you know, Greyhound Racing UK in terms of the TikTok presence, and so many others on a daily basis you hear of various platforms. And of course, we're on YouTube, Gone to the Dogs, and the podcasts, and Gone to the Dogs Live. And there's so many opportunities out there. It's very difficult sometimes to keep up with them all, but that's what we're trying to do.
So obviously we've had 6 months of it now. We've kind of quietly been reaching into different corners of the social media world. But as the Derby starts to come closer and closer, are we starting to focus more on the Derby? Will there be lots of content for that?
It's Greyhound Racing's biggest competition.
Yeah.
I call it the greatest greyhound race in the world, and I've got huge respect for the Borsworth Irish Greyhound Derby in Shelbourne Park, but I'm an Englishman, and the English Greyhound Derby is the best for me. And Towcester has proved, I believe, a perfect host for that Greyhound Derby. So absolutely, 192 dogs going for £175,000. I mean, that's extraordinary. That in itself is the biggest story in greyhound racing. So of course, we're going to be all over it.
Cannot wait for the Derby at Towcester. Now, just as a final question, how do readers actually consume the Greyhound News UK material? Where can they go?
Start with the website, sign up, become a member. Only takes a couple of minutes. get involved. Then we know about you. We know about your preferences. We want to know that you want to know about particular owners or particular trainers, particular greyhounds. The history of greyhound racing is amazing. We're approaching 100 years of this great sport. So whether you're talking about Mick the Miller through to Ballyregan Bob, to Skirlow Champ, to Westmead Hawk, to Bocco's Diamond, and I've got to say proper heiress as well.
Indeed.
There is so much there. There's so much content. And yeah, start with that, become a member, and we'll take you hopefully on a journey.
Hopefully, because this is the best sport in the world, Hobbsy.
There's nothing like it. And you've heard so many examples, you know, from people like Gary Wiltshire and Harry Findlay. And I'm so looking forward to interviewing those two at Towcester on April the 20th, Easter Sunday. You know, make sure if you can to be there. We'll try to record it. We'll try to do something. But you want to see these guys face to face. They've got incredible stories. But go racing, get involved, you know, in terms of different innovations and promotions and marketing. Greyhound Racing UK is about promotion and marketing of greyhound racing. It's still, believe it or not, and no one apart from us involved in the operation will believe it's a sleeping giant.
Yeah.
It's still a sleeping giant. As crazy as that may sound for a sport that's reaching the century, it still can reach out to younger people who are, they may notice it. They certainly know it at Romford. We've been there for the Gone to the Dogs and seen that cross-section of people. The younger person enjoys a night at the Dogs. Who doesn't enjoy a night at the Dogs? So the message is to come racing, get involved and sign up and get the information that you desire.
So make sure you head to greyhoundnewsuk.com, sign up. It is completely free. We're not asking anything from you, and you can get the best of the greyhound racing news.